Winston Gold is a junior mining company that focuses on high-grade, low-cost mining opportunities. So with me to explain a little bit more about this is CEO Murray Nye and also Joe Carrabba, the executive chairman of Winston Gold. So great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
So Murray, let's start with you. What is the history of your involvement in this project and in the gold industry?
Well, it goes back to 2005. Gold hadn't moved probably in 30 years. It was priced around $400. I had a very good friend of mine in the mining business. I thought maybe it's a good opportunity to look at gold projects right now because of the printing of currencies and the financial uncertainty in the world. Even at that time, that was 2005. It's gotten a lot worse since then.
Yes, gold is certainly getting a lot of interest these days with all the Fed spending and uncertainty going on in the world. So Joe, what about you? What's your history with gold and with this project in particular?
Well, I've been in the industry my entire working life. I'm a geologist with an MBA and worked for a number of very good companies from coal to gold all the way through, and really wanted to focus on the junior gold space. I think there's some real synergies that can be added there in the industry and bring it from the drill bit to production, which, as you know, we're about to do, and that's pretty uncommon for a junior mining company. So yeah, I found it a very exciting opportunity.
Can you explain real quickly junior mining and how is that different versus like a Newmont mining company and what they're doing?
Well, as you know, Newmont is listed on all the major exchanges. It's the largest gold company in the world with it, and along with that brings, they can take different risk opportunities in many of the developing countries around the world. They're looking for very, very large opportunities of a company of this size to move forward with. And their budgets obviously are extremely large to move a company forward. In the junior space, it's just as Murray said, it starts with an opportunity, almost a dream, and then a lot of reality of hard work to kind of scratch and claw to get your way through. A lot of it is fundraising from individuals. There's not a lot of institutional backing when you start with a very small company like this. And then you've got to perform. It's small teams. The teamwork has to be just excellent. You've got to have good technical people on the ground, which we do. And then to keep your shareholders involved in this, because they're taking a high risk too, you really have to hit your milestones and perform.
It sounds much more entrepreneurial than working for one of the big companies.
Oh, totally.
Like starting a business, yeah.
Total startup mentality, entrepreneurial. Yeah, a lot of long days and long nights.
So Murray, let's talk about gold and just kind of the macro. Like I mentioned, it's getting a lot of attention. The world seems scarier and more uncertain than it ever has in my lifetime, even during 9/11. I mean, and plus all this government spending that's going on. So what's your opinion of the global economic market?
Well, I think it's a mess. I think it's obvious that it's a mess. And I just don't know how they're going to get out of it. Right now they're trying to spend their way out of it. And then you've got a lot of uncertainty in the world because of COVID and all the jobs at risk. I know in our country, in Canada, they've just put a lot of enforcement measures in to prevent people from moving around. But, that being said, gold historically has always been a currency. And it's always been a store of value. So it's very portable. It's easy to maintain. There's a liquid market for it all the time. So I remember watching an interview with Ray Dalio back about a year ago, and he was saying cash is trash. And this was even before COVID or any of this other stuff that was happening. And he wasn't a big gold bug per se, but he certainly thought it was worth looking at. And I'm old enough to remember, you aren't, Jane, but I remember the hyperinflation back in 1979-80, where interest rates went to 20%. And this is what this is what the world is poised for. Again, I believe. I don't know when it's going to happen, but you're going to have inflation at some point.
Yeah. So let's talk about this current project. So Murray, it's in Montana, right, where you are? Project.
Yeah, it's located near the state capital of Helena, and it's about a 25-mile drive on a major highway in the state, so it's got good access. We like Montana because the permitting here is reasonable. It's not a gimme, but as long as you follow the rules and guidelines and keep everything on track as far as what you're doing at the mine site. The permitting process here is very reasonable, so it's a good place to operate. There's a really good workforce in the area. Montana has a rich mining history, and we're currently developing the parallel vein on the level we're on now. And then what happened was, with these last 2 drill holes, is we've intersected some very much higher grade than we're on the level we're on right now. Like the level we're on right now is running about a 0.3 ounces per ton. The last drill intercept was 1.5 ounces per ton over 5 feet. So that's a significant increase in grade, like 5 times the grade that we're on. So what that means is that, we can produce a lot more ounces on that level. We also have, it's not too far away from where we are now. It's about 80 feet in front of us and roughly 40 or 50 feet below us. So it's not going to be that long to get to it. Also, there's another drill hole, maybe about 80 feet lower than that intercepted some similar grade, about 0.6 ounces per ton. And it's 300 feet ahead of the other one. So there's some good strike length to that. And there's some very high grade material right below our feet, if you like, that we can get to mining in the not too distant future.
Okay.
So it is good.
Well, thank you, Murray and Joe, for explaining gold and Winston Gold.
Sure.
And I think could be a very interesting thing to watch over the next few years. So